and gets way overbought and way overowned, way overloved, et cetera. And that's what we're seeing in Tesla. I mean, you look at the chart, the weekly RSI chart. It's a reading of over 85 today. That's very close to its all-time high. Wow. And it's at a 450% premium to its 200-week moving average. The next closest one is only 250% premium. So this stock has gotten way ahead of itself. I think it could come back significantly, 20 to 30%. Actually, if it fell 60%, it would still be above its February highs. Wow. I don't think it's going to fall that much, but the point is sometimes stocks get way ahead of themselves. If you'd asked me in June, I would have said, buy Tesla, not Nikola. Now I'm saying just the opposite, because Nikola has actually come in quite a bit, and its chart looks much better. Oh, interesting. David, you talked to CNBC Pro about this, and I thought the quote was so interesting. You said a lot of these firms won't make it. They'll linger around for a while. There's easy money. And also saying that part of this is the excitement over this SPAC model, saying it's putting gasoline on that fire, so to speak. Tell me a little bit about whether you'd be kind of tactically differentiating one car maker versus another here, or if the price action for all of them to you seems like a warning.
The whole space in terms of startup EVs and also Tesla, that's not really a startup anymore. It's a momentum play, pure and simple. I think it's a bubble, quite honestly. Tesla up roughly 70% just on announcing a stock split. That doesn't make any sense to me. Yes, there's more appeal to retail investors with the split announcement, but 70%, I mean, come on, it just doesn't make sense. It's a frustrating sector to cover. And that quote you referenced, I'm talking more on these startups that, they've got their vehicle and they've got some funding, and that's great. But Elon himself talks about this. It's incredibly difficult to make something right consistently and at scale. Tesla, despite its market cap size, is not that big of a company still in terms of vehicle volumes. They'll do probably 400,000 units this year. They're targeting 500,000. That's going to be tough. But it's a bubble, and eventually you're going to need more money. And Rivian has Amazon and Ford backing, but not everyone is so lucky. So it remains to be seen, especially once rates come up.
Yeah. No, and it's interesting to hear you characterize it that way, because, like you said, you covered this space. I mean, these are your companies. In a way, it makes it much more difficult for you when the price action goes this way. So, Matt, what would you do if you're Elon Musk? I mean, he's already issued more stock. He's said the stock price is too high. He's very wealthy as a result of where the stock price is now. But if it collapses, obviously that would kind of be a headache of its own. Is this going to go the way of the cannabis stocks, of other subsectors of the market that we've seen where they have this tremendous hype? The prices basically collapse, everybody else moves on, no one really notices? Or are there bigger ramifications for all investors here and for the market? Well, one of the things, yes, I do think it could go the way of the cannabis stocks. Well, whether it can bounce back like it has on many different occasions, something the cannabis stocks haven't been able to do, that's another question. But that doesn't mean it can't fall, and fall substantially. I mean, you're talking about the retail and how that's got all involved. But we also have to remember the algos. I mean, they're run more by institutions, but they're momentum-driven trades. They get zero credit when the market rallies or when a stock rallies. But it's played a big impact on that. The problem is when it reverses, they will be selling into a down tape, into a down stock, and doing so in aggressive. They'll get a lot of blame at that point. But the issue is that it's going to inflict some pain on some individual investors. That's going to spill over to some other stocks, especially since so many others are high flying as well. Maybe not as much. So I'm concerned that Tesla and the Apples of the world, great. I mean, Apple's a great company, but its stock is overbought. It could cause the rest of the market to pull back, even with the Fed on the sidelines, ready to step in if things get really bad. But that doesn't keep us from seeing a 10% correction or more in the stock market, and a significant correction in Tesla.